A seatbelt can stop you from going into a store. A seatbelt can stop you from climbing a tree. It can stop you from flying or from rolling down a hill. A seatbelt can stop you from doing a lot of things, like crushing bones and damaging vital organs. It can even save your life. That's why we enforce seatbelt laws, to save lives. So buckle up every trip, every time. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, this is the Coast to Coast Radio. I'm your host, Ron Fitch. And this is part one of the NBA Finals show where we talk about Golden State versus Cleveland. It's like Groundhog Day all over again. And once again, these two teams are playing each other for the third time. Can LeBron James win his fourth title? Can Kevin Durant get his first title? Can Golden State overcome the loss of last year? Is Kyrie Irving going to do it again? Those are the questions that need to be answered. I've looked at the matchup, thought about this, and I kind of want to break it down from a standpoint of this is a very interesting matchup where you have Golden State, who's undefeated, 12-0. And they beat the Spurs, a depleted Spurs team who put them on the ropes, game one, versus Cleveland, who went 12-1 and had one hiccup where LeBron didn't show up, and they lost at home, and then they recovered. Kyrie at 42 in game four, and then game five they crushed Boston, sent Boston on their way. And really, Golden State and Cleveland have gone against great accomplishments to play each other the third time, but they haven't had the obstacles that either team. So Golden State never ran into Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, healthy. Never had to do that. And they had some real tough obstacles. Cleveland had five three straight years. Golden State's pretty much had an easy go, but these were the two best teams each year, and we're going to get it on. I think it's going to be a long series. Both teams this is an evenly matched. Evenly matched last year. I thought Golden State was better until the Draymond Green suspension changed everything, and then Cleveland woke up after the suspension. And yeah, I said it. I'm going to say what I said. I'm going to say what I got to say on this matter, that Cleveland really, really woke up after the 3-1, down 3-1. Normally, I've seen teams come back. Boston did in 81 against the Sixers, and it came back 3-1 organically. I didn't think that comeback last year was. It was a great comeback after the suspension because they woke up and they played. They game 7 on the road. Hey, man, I can't take that away. But I don't know. I felt a certain way. I just thought this is Draymond Green being idiotic. Kicking and the technicals costly, but then LeBron flopped. I talked about that verbatim ad nauseum, so I'm not going to get into that. But this is Cleveland's opportunity to say, listen, okay, maybe that was a little controversial, but now we're going to do it again, just to show you we were the better team, because this is the rubber match. Both teams, and then Cleveland could say Kyrie was hurt or in the year Golden State won. So this is the rubber match. You got Durant. Curry's going to be on a mission. I'm going to get into the inside the head of the players in a minute. But as far as the breakdown is concerned, I think the most important aspect of this entire series is the rim protection of Golden State. Can Golden State stop Kyrie Irving and LeBron James from getting to the basket? It's not going to be easy because Kyrie Irving comes off a high screen and he's coming at angles because of the uncanny ability to go to his left or go to his right. He's ambidextrous and he's an amazing finisher toward the rim. Can JaVale McGee, Draymond Green, I don't know about Petrulia, he's not really agile like that. Kevin Durant, can they get enough? You're not going to stop him. He's going to get his drives. But at times, in crucial situations, can they recover quick enough to get to the rim and block his shot, start their break, get a three off their break, get the crowd going. Can they do that? Do they have the ability to do that? Because Klay Thompson is your best defender, and he's going to be guarding Kyrie Irving. He might get caught on switches. If they do, Draymond Green, the one thing that Golden State is good at, sometimes you get caught with a big out, they're naked on an island off of a pick and roll play where Kyrie could just choose it past his defender or break him down, take a three. But you're going to have Draymond Green. You may have Kevin Durant, long, tough defenders. Even JaVale McGee, if you beat him off the dribble, he's athletic enough to recover and alter a shot. So that's the one advantage Golden State has, but it's still going to be very, very difficult to try to stop him and LeBron, but especially Kyrie, because he's just not. I wonder if he's getting enough credit for the ability to break his defender down, shoot over the top, mid-range jumper, drive to the basket. He's not the best passer. He doesn't have to be the best passer when you're that good of a scorer. And he scores when you need him because he won the series with the big shots when everybody was gagging it up. LeBron was playing good defense because he hawked down Iguodala in that game 7. But he was not shooting. He hit a three, but then everybody was a little nervous except Kyrie, and he hit the shot. And you know what you're getting out of Kyrie. I think for Cleveland, defensively, they play good defense, and then they don't. And this is not that series where it's a don't. It's a do. They're going to need Kyrie and LeBron to go off. Because when Kyrie and LeBron go off, then that opens the door for the three-point snipers and Korver and Fry and Kevin Love and J.R. Smith Streaky and all those guys get good looks, and now you're in trouble if that happens. And now Golden State's ability to rim protect and then rush back out to the three-point shooters and not foul, because there's a lot of players that are fouling three-point shooters and give up three-point free throw opportunities and be disciplined. That is the key. Mike Brown and his staff have their hands full trying to deal with that. But on the other side, Cleveland has their hands full trying to deal with all what Golden State brings to the table, and that's going to be very interesting from that aspect. I'm going to tell you what's the key for Cleveland is to keep Golden State from hitting them with them 10 to 20-0 spurts. I remember they played them in Golden State. It was a great game Christmas Day in Cleveland back and forth where Durant got fouled, and they didn't call it. Kyrie Irving hits a huge shot. Go on, Kyrie Irving, always does, and they won. But then in Golden State, Cleveland didn't look like they even cared. And Golden State ran them out of the gym. I think Cleveland will come back and care. They won't get run out of their gym so easily. And I think for Cleveland, they got to avoid those spurts. And Golden State, they have to take care of business at home and try to get this in 6. They need to win all their home games. I think they're going to split the first 2 games, and then Golden State and Cleveland. Golden State needs to try to win in Cleveland. They're going to have to win in Cleveland. This ain't going to be a series where you're just going to win at home. And not LeBron and Kyrie are too good, and the other complementary players have played too well, like Deron Williams, those guys, for that to happen. So you're probably going to have to go on the road if you want to really be champs. So that's what's interesting about this matchup. Now, the head, inside the head. First, I want to start with Cleveland. No problem with Kyrie Irving. LeBron James, and his revenge game against the Spurs, when the Spurs won revenge, he basically really didn't show up. He didn't really, I didn't see the same fire. Then he cramps up in game 1 of that series. They get annihilated after they win game 2, and Kawhi Leonard really kicks his behind. He may be motivated, thinking, you know what, I remember the last time I did play a team that wanted revenge on me, and it didn't fare too well, so I'm going to be more motivated to try to not let that happen. And he can't have the game he had against Boston game 3 where he's not shooting. He's got to go like 4 of 6, 3 of 6, 4 of 7 from 3 to keep Golden State defense honest. Golden State has a good defense. They're not physical defense. And I think Cleveland's got to push them around a little bit like they did those last 3 games last year. So when LeBron, at times he could be a bully. I don't think bullying tactics will work. He's just going to have to be a great player this series. He's going to have to be the guy he was those last 3 games for him to have a chance. And that's going to be a key. Where is his head at? He said something I didn't like early in the playoffs, saying, well, my legacy's set. I don't really need to win this game. I don't care if you have 6 or 7 titles. Competitors want to win. Greatness is greedy. Competitors are going to want to win. I wish he wouldn't have said that. So that's going to be interesting. Now I want to switch to Golden State. Where is their head? Golden State was very fortunate to get Kevin Durant. Because after that series, I said Golden State is going to hemorrhage over that loss. Because I looked at, and I'm going to give you an example why I thought before Kevin Durant came, I thought they were going to keep the same team, and they were going to hemorrhage and struggle. I'm going to give you an example. The Seattle Seahawks lost the same exact way to the New England Patriots, where they pretty much had the game. It was 26 seconds left, and they run Marshall Lynch, they win the Super Bowl, and they decided a ridiculous slant pattern where Malcolm Butler intercepted New England win. And Seattle never psychologically recovered from that because that was their Super Bowl. And they were always a tightly round bunch, and Sherman, and there's a problem. He's still mad at Wilson. I'm not mad at Wilson because that was a dumb play call. He's mad at Pete Carroll for calling that dumb play, which it's understandable. And they never psychologically their swagger back because they were going to win about 3 or 4 Super Bowls, and they were going to be that dynasty, and it never happened, and they never recovered. Golden State recovered because of the fact that they got Kevin Durant off the field. And psychologically, that gave them a boost, like, okay, we're probably going to get back with this talent we got. Let's play Kevin Durant, smooth transition. Works perfectly in that pass and cut system that they run from San Antonio. The San Antonio principles equated and plugged into the talent that Golden State had. And it's inside the head of Durant. I want to go in Durant's head. Now that I went into some of the Golden State players collectively head, now I want to go to Kevin Durant's head. He lost a 5-game series to LeBron James. It looked like he deferred to LeBron James. Does he attack him? If LeBron James guards him, does he go right at him, or does he show him too much respect? He wants this title badly. Kevin Durant wants to win this championship badly. But if adversity strikes, can he handle it? Can Steph Curry recover from those ridiculously bad shots and ridiculously bad passes he made in Game 7 where he just gagged up and did nothing? And it was just bad the last 3 games. He's going to be motivated. Where's his hand at? Can he handle this kind of pressure? Draymond Green, the biggest reason Golden State lost, and the biggest reason Cleveland won was his suspension because he was playing at a high level until it happened. And that 1-game suspension jump-started with the electrodes that Cleveland needed to get them going. How does he handle that? Because he said, I'm going to come out and annihilate Cleveland. That ain't happening. You're not going to come out and annihilate the Cleveland Cavaliers. You might win a close series, but that's not happening. I'm going to tell you right now on Draymond. But can he come out and give the physical presence that they need against a powerful driver like LeBron and a powerful driver like Kyrie? And then J.R. Smith goes to basket too. But the other guys are just 3-point snipers that just take your heart out. Can Draymond Green hit his jump shot when he's open? Because I'm pretty sure Cleveland's going to funnel their offense toward Curry and Durant. Now another guy, Klay Thompson, who had a bad Game 7, who has not played and hit his shots. Can he hit his open shots? His open jump shooting is huge in this series. Can Klay Thompson, if Klay Thompson hits shots, playing like he did Game 6 against OKC last year, And I see that Klay Thompson, they're going to win the series without a doubt. They might win easier than I even think. But he has to get it going for them to win. He has to be a part of it. Andre Iguodala, of all the guys that get a second chance after getting his shot blocked and not doing anything in Game 7 last year, Andre Iguodala, who was the MVP of the year previous, can he get it together? What's in his head? Can he win this? Can he be that guy? Can he make the three-point shot? Can he be that guy as LeBron's on the break this time? Can he dunk it on LeBron in Game 7? How motivated is he? Sometimes my only criticism of Iguodala is he'll drive and pass and be such a pass-happy guy that I think he needs to go to the rim strong. And if he does that, that gives Golden State the proper balance. And that's why I think that this makes this series so interesting from a standpoint of psychologically and then physically. Can Cleveland impose their physical will because they don't have the best shot blockers? And another key aspect for Golden State, I just remember this. How in the world do you keep that monster off the glass, Tristan Thompson? I look at his frame. He looks, kind of strong, but it seems like he's almost an incredible Hulk when it comes to boxing out. How do you box him out? Do you face guard? Can Petrulia have enough range and have enough strength and have enough agility to box him out? When there's a switch, and Kyrie Irving you're going to have to switch off the pick and roll and scramble to a three-point shooter, and the shot goes up, you play good defense, the shot clock goes down, the ball goes in the air, and it's a miss. It's a miss by Cleveland. Can Golden State get that rebound? Can a guard or Iguodala or whoever, can they box out properly Tristan Thompson? Not stare in the air. Can they box Tristan Thompson out to at least put a challenge up so he doesn't get the rebound? Because usually when he gets the rebound with all those great scorers, and now you're scrambling, your defense is not set, Kyrie and LeBron will make you pay, and make you pay dearly. Or Korver. He might get the offensive rebound and kick it out the court for a three, and it messes your spirit up because of how hard you worked on defense. And this guy gets the offensive rebound, or he goes up with it. And you got to keep Love off the backboard. He's pretty good on the backboard. And Tristan Thompson is uncanny about how many offensive rebounds he gets. Can you get him in foul trouble? Because if he's in foul trouble, Cleveland could be in trouble. The backboards are huge. And then Pat Riley coined this phrase, no rebounds, no rings. They're not a shot-blocking team. Cleveland gets steals. And Cleveland's offense is their defense. The fact that it's a headache and a nightmare to try to stop LeBron from driving and then hope he doesn't make his threes. And then Kyrie Irving is the closest thing to unguardable the league has ever seen because of his ability to shoot and drive. And he's the best two guard in the league. Klay Thompson's good, but Kyrie's better. Kyrie is a two guard, he's not a point guard. They talk about Kyrie and Curry matchup. It's not Kyrie-Curry matchup. Cleveland doesn't have a point guard. LeBron's a point forward. Kyrie is a two guard. So their system is built off those guys just bludgeoning you to death. Curry's more of a point guard. And Curry's got to make his shots. Curry's got to take advantage of those switches. When Tristan Thompson and Love is on him, he's got to make him pay for that, too. There's so many different little aspects in this game that makes it really, really fascinating in a matchup. This is what I think is going to happen. I believe it'll be a split in game 1 and 2. You're not going to beat Cleveland. It's not going to go 2-0 like last year. I can't see that. So either game 1 or game 2, Cleveland should get. This is risky, but I think Golden State might get a game in Cleveland to make it a game 5 2-2 series. All right, I think Golden State gets that game 5. Then Cleveland gets game 6. And then we have another epic game 7 where it's real close in the fourth quarter. And of course, Kyrie hits his shot like he did last year. But I just believe because of Durant and because of the home court advantage, they get that extra shot they need. And Durant or Curry, and they survive with Draymond Green there a full series. And they survive maybe a 1 or 2 point win or 5-point win, and Golden State survives and wins in 7. If they don't win one of those games in Cleveland, Cleveland gets hit them in 6. But I believe Golden State 7, and this is not a prediction where I'm real sure. This is just gut feeling. Now, Cleveland could win in 6 because they do have the best player on the court. And the best player on the court usually wins series in the NBA Finals. Maybe not in football or basketball, but in a 5-team sport, the individual, it comes down to how good the individual is. And LeBron is, because of his size and what he can do all around, Durant is an all-around player. He can do everything LeBron can do, but LeBron's a little bigger. So that's the difference. But I just believe Golden State has more guys. And they're desperate and they're hungry. They know they better win this year. I don't know how long Klay Thompson is going to be their free agent line. And I think they're a little hungrier because of how bad, 73 wins, then Draymond suspension, the Cavaliers come back. I just think that in the end, Golden State survives. But if Cleveland won, hey, would surprise me because it's that close. And I know I have a Cleveland fan that believes Cleveland is future. I have every right to believe. So Major League Baseball is the same as it was last week. But the Minnesota Twins, maybe they're going to be around a while because I said Cleveland, the Indians. This is the year the Indians and the Cavaliers are back-to-back Cavaliers. Hell, they'll end up on the deal getting back to the finals. But I said the Indians are going to go to the World Series. Book it. I don't know now. With the development of the Yankees, if the Yankees get another pitcher, they go with Tanaka and Pineda, who's playing really. Their pitching is better than I thought. So, Minnesota coming out of nowhere, very young talent. I had Matt Lowe, who covers the American League Central, come on my show, and he said, Ron, in 2 years, watch out for the Twins because they got a lot of talent. And that's showing. And that's going to be very interesting. I may in the future have to get a Minnesota Twin writer to come on to find out what's going on with the Twinkies. But the Dodgers, they're a team I think they're coming on. They're in third place. They beat the Cubs yesterday 4-0. Travis Wood, he is a nightmare to left. He reminds me of Chris Sale of the Red Sox. And I think the Dodgers eventually are going to overtake Colorado and Arizona. If they get in the playoffs, I got a feeling they're due because Kershaw's due to get to the World Series. They may be due to get the win. I'll see the matchup. I got a feeling that they make it and they can overtake the Diamondbacks and the Rockies because it's early and they're 2.5 out. I just think I don't trust the Nationals. Nationals have the best talent in baseball and in the National League, but I don't trust any Washington, D.C. teams. You know my theory. I don't know if the Cubs do not have enough pitching. They're going to have to make a deal. The trade deadline, when it comes, and when it's about August, and I'm back doing the show because I usually take a summer hiatus, that will let me know who's who in the National League. In the American League, it comes down to if the Yankees get one more starter to go with Severino and Tanaka and Pineda. With that hitting they got, and the Astros are still Astros. They're still going to be around. Minnesota and Cleveland, that dynamic. If Minnesota's there to stay, that's going to be fun watching Minnesota and Cleveland play late. Boston's picking it up. You got too much talent. I don't know if Price is going to be 100% this year. He's going to come back in the fold. He's had some minor league starts. But you got Chris Sale. one of the best pitchers in the league. You got that hitting. You got Mookie Betts. You got some of the best players in the league. They're too good to be around as Boston and New York. And they have a series this week. That's going to be fun to watch. Now, finally, I want to talk about boxing. There may be an Adrian Broner, Mickey Garcia fight before I get into Kell Brook and Errol Spence. And the Barclays. I'm there. July 29th at the Barclays. I'm looking online. Woo, I would like to see that. I will be there for you. I will be there for my audience. Mickey Garcia, Adrian Broner. Me and Adrian Broner have talked. We talked in the street about life. I saw him in the street in the Barclays. I interviewed him, and then we just walked down the street in Brooklyn. We just talked about life. And it's going to be interesting. I always love Mickey Garcia. Those are two boxers I really love. So that'll be a lot of fun. Now, Kell Brook versus Errol Spence. This is how I'm going to break this fight down. Kell Brook I think he's a little better boxer, a little more experienced. Errol Spence is a very good boxer, but a powerful 21-0, 18 knockouts, 8 straight knockouts. It's his body shot. He's a big guy for a welterweight, and he's a bruiser, and he reminds me of Marvin Hagler, where it's not one punch, but it's the clubbing accumulation. Kell Brook could be outboxing Spence for 4 or 5 rounds. The crowd in England going crazy, but then boom, that one shot, and then the body shot, and then Spence has you. And that's the key, because Kell Brook, as good a fighter as he was, is coming off a knockout loss to a bigger Triple G. How much damage has that done? I just think that Errol Spence will find a way to win. I think it's his time. All the times he sparred against Broner and Mayweather and all the tough fighters he fought in sparring has given him experience. I just think it's his time. It would not surprise me if Brook won in his hometown, but I just think that it's Errol Spence's time, and he comes away in England on enemy turf with a W. Looking forward to Thursday's NBA show part 2.
A seatbelt can stop you from going into a store. A seatbelt can stop you from climbing a tree. It can stop you from flying or from rolling down a hill. A seatbelt can stop you from doing a lot of things, like crushing bones and damaging vital organs. It can even save your life. That's why we enforce seatbelt laws, to save lives. So buckle up every trip, every time. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.